Live from the Rant Radio Network, you're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis,
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. And we are back here at the Real Estate Rant, here at the towers of the Rant Radio Network. I'm your host, Mr. Alex Alanis, and to my left here, my broker, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
And man of many talents, man. Welcome to another episode of the most exciting, informative show you'll ever see here.
Oh, dude.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, exactly. Give us a call, 855-693-4897, or you can email us at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. We will not get to your email during the show. Thank you, sir, Mr. Pantalones, if you will. We will not get to your emails during the show, but we will answer questions in subsequent shows. Real Estate Rant is proud supporters of Michael Aguilar and Associates and Stroke Awareness. You can get on his website at www.strokeawareness101.com, or you can email him at michaelpaguilar@hotmail.com. You can win a $25 gift card to Stevens Steakhouse located in the City of Commerce, compliments of Carlos Cruz and the Pico Rivera Chamber of Commerce. And actually, in-house today, we have Mr. Eddie Tafoya, if I said that right, CEO and Executive Director of the Commerce Industrial Council, which is the Chamber of Commerce for the City of Commerce. Welcome, sir. How are you, sir?
Female since we got here. This place is a sausage fest.
You're killing me. Do we have Mr. Eddie there, Mr. Pantalones? Let's do a test on my test real quick. Okay, there we go. He's on. Welcome, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I see that Carlos here got the jump on Steven Steakhouse, man. Lucky for you guys, I carry a whole slab of gift cards in my pocket.
Nice.
So take care of you guys.
We haven't been out there for a while now, huh?
I'll tell you, the pastrami is what calls our name over there.
You know what? This week I've been there 3 times, so I'm Steven's out. So I should have brought my leftovers today. Had a little bit of filet mignon.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the gentleman's name that started us on the kick for mentioning them was I think it was Don. Yeah, the marketing guy.
That's right? Him, Don Carruthers.
Yeah, there you go. And he and this is probably a good year ago, I want to say. We started talking with him, and he gave us the gift cards, and along with Carlos. Carlos is the one that introduced us, but we've only got 2 left. So maybe we'll come talk to you, Eddie, after the show.
Absolutely. Come on down. That's
right on. So give us a call, 855-693-4897, and you can win one of those gift cards.
I would love to taste you.
Oh, there you go. Mr. Pantalon is kind of going crazy today with the with the sound effects. Give us a call. You can win one of those gift cards. You have a beef about real estate, a problem with an agent, or a question you'd like to ask, you can ask myself, Alonso, or Eddie about that particular information, 855-693-4897. During the show, Mr. Alonso gets those questions up by email at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. When we get this week, Mr. Alonso.
This week's question comes from Marcos out of Almani, and it says, I want to sell my home to developer. Area was rezoned from residential to commercial residential. City wants area gentrified. Desirable location. How do I go about listing my property with an honest realtor that works with developers?
Did they put those 2 words together, honest realtor?
Honest realtor, that's what it says. Honest realtor.
Well, they're out there. They're definitely out there. What's the answer, Mr. Alonso?
Well, I mean, like I said, that's a good question. I mean, there's not a lot of realtors who work with developers, primarily because they don't have the experience in development. So first, you should qualify realtors, talk to them, see if they have a firm base and knowledge of the development stage, and then choose a one that mostly is how can I say I don't want to say certified, but that has more education about it. Another approach is a commercial brokerage, since they're the ones that offer usually work with developers.
Well, that's what I was going to say. A lot of times when you're driving around, whether it be a busy street or a residential street, there's a difference in the signs that you see out there. The residential street signs, the posts that are out there for regular real estate agents on residential property. They got I want to say they're 34 by 28 signs that are up there with the posts. But then as you're driving around the commercial, you see those big plywood ones, those big, huge ones where they say property for lease or
a
commercial
big banner
property.
or a big banner.
Or a large banner, right? And there is a difference between those types of real estate agents. Some specialize in commercial, and that's their forte. There are companies that do both. And so I would say that, potentially look for somebody at AGR and Associates.
There you go.
It's really important, if I may interject. It is very important that when you do search for a broker or a real estate agent, whether they do commercial or residential, and more specifically to the commercial side, it is important that you do your homework. In the fine print, you may not read that the specific use that you have for your business that you're looking to relocate or move into a certain building. They're not obliged to tell you. It's not their obligation to tell you that you can't move that type of specific business into the building. So do your homework. Make sure that the type of use that you're moving into the building that you're looking to locate into, that you ask those questions of your broker, your real estate agent, or whoever's representing you on the property.
And usually I would go a step further and actually go to the city hall, because like I said, your realtor's in for the commission, or the commercial broker is in for the commission.
Speak for yourself.
They actually want to make some money. So they're not, like I said, they're not obliged to tell you these things, but it's also very necessary for the person who is getting into their commercial lease or their purchase, that they go and to planning in city hall and get, the how can I say, the zoning, what's allowed to build there. And usually you go to planning and they will have someone there will tell you exactly what you can do and what you can do on.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes back to the question when they talk about honest agent. I know I kind of poked fun about that, but actually, what I would ask, the real question is an informed agent. The agent needs to be informed about what it is that they're doing, and I think that that's the real question there to the listener. They need an informed agent, but the other part of this too that we haven't even covered yet in terms of this particular question is that if you have a residential piece of property that's been upzoned or downzoned in terms of its location, it could change the value of the property.
Absolutely.
And that is a very important piece of the puzzle if you're going to consider selling the property, because it is a taxable event. And we always talk about talking to your CPA or lawyer or attorney about those kind of information, because we don't like to practice law here without a license here at Real Estate Rant, right? So
they're just our humble opinions, like we say on the show.
Never to be humble opinions, right? So
those are all good, valid points. But you going back to City Hall, very important. Before you do anything, make sure you go and talk to them. I just had a business I met with recently that started excavating in a property that has been vacated for a very long time. I don't know how far down he dug up, but there's large traces of lead. And if that makes contact with a human, it can have very harmful consequences. So do your homework, get City Hall involved, and more importantly, join your local Chamber of Commerce, and they'll help you guide your way through the city politics.
And a knowledgeable agent from AGR and Associates.
There you go.
Give us a call, 855-693-4897, Mr. Pantalones. If we can throw up the design deal, please. You get this particular design, you can win that $25 gift card as well, and it is a multiple choice. You're allowed to cheat on Wikipedia if you like. There we go. What kind of house is this, gentlemen? Kind of tricky. I always throw a little curve out there.
Is that an actual name of a home?
It is. It is. The answer is up there, right? And I have it here. I don't know if anybody can see it on the camera, so I'm going to push it out of the way here. But that just happens to be a 2-story, which is a duplicate of the ground floor, just with the staircase in the middle. But yeah, that is a particular house. So what kind of house is this? Give us a call, 855-693-4897, and you can win one of those $25 gift cards. And it sounds like Eddie's got a big stack of those in his pocket at the moment. So feel free to call.
Looks like we're gonna have Steven Steakhouse lunch to their
That's
dinner
what
today.
that's what I'm talking about.
Big Jim prime rib.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, Mr. Alonso, what do we have for the real estate fun facts for this week?
It's this week's fun fact. It says up to 100,000 people in Hong Kong live in cage homes. What are cage homes?
My goodness, cage homes.
You ever heard of that, Alex? Cage homes?
You know what? I never have. That's the first time.
Something new.
I could reference my ex-wife, but I don't think I will.
There we go. Look, there's a picture of a cage home there.
Oh wow!
Okay.
I think I missed the part where you said either humans or animals.
Well, apparently this is a human thing, right? So
Yeah,
what was the question again, Alonso?
It says up to 100,000 people in Hong Kong live in cage homes. What are cage homes?
Well, you kind of gave it away with the picture, but
there goes our brilliant
yeah.
engineer again.
So don't call after all. Never mind. So, but hey, you said 100,000 people live in these homes.
100,000 people.
I mean, can you even call that a home? It looks more like a cage to me, like something.
Yeah, that looks like something. If you
And
get
since
stuck
we
in-
already have the answer there, then we'll just give the answer. And it's a 6x2 metal cage covering a bed, forced by skyrocketing home prices in Hong Kong. People live in those cramped, dirty, unsafe conditions. For some, some of the poorest in Hong Kong, and what you get for $1,300 Hong Kong dollars, which is
What
a month for
what
rent.
does that equate to
That's
in
equate to
in US dollars?
it's about $160. It's 105 euros. So that's what gets you a wire cage resembling a rabbit hutch.
Hey, now I'm looking at this picture right here, and it's actually like a 3-story. That's a 3-story house right there.
It is. Usually they're built in the dilapidated
That's the
apartment
that's the VIP
complexes.
cage home.
Or if you look at the rest of his surroundings, he looks like he's doing pretty good there.
I mean, it's
Clean floors.
Yeah, it looks clean,
Clean
right?
walls.
It's lit up. You
And
know?
I think we have like an outside picture of it. Usually they're old apartment buildings that are run down, and they just, they
Oh my
build a
goodness!
bunch
Look
of
at
apartments
that.
on them.
Talk about stacking it up, huh? How's that for a density factor
Wow.
there, Eddie?
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
And then just to another fact about the Hong Kong is one of the richest. There's the richest people that are on in Hong Kong. From mansions to cage homes.
Yeah, riches to poverty. Look at that.
There's no middle class there. It's all rich or poor.
My goodness. So give us a call, 855-693-4897. We do have an esteemed guest here today, Mr. Eddie Tafoya, future president of the United States.
There
when
you
I
go.
say, yeah, there-
Vote for me.
Yeah, there you go. So, and I know that's where you're headed, Eddie. You never actually said it, right?
No.
But that's the feeling that I'm getting. And I'll be honest with you, the reason I say esteemed guest is because Eddie is a big contributor to the community here locally in Commerce, but I know to Southern California, and after speaking with him, cares very much about what's going on in business, not just as a business owner, but as a individual and consumer. And I'll allow Eddie now to kind of give us a little background, Eddie, if you will.
Sure. Well, thank you. It's indeed a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Alex, for inviting me to be on Rant Radio. It is a long time in the making, and so I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and to tell the story.
You're
Tell
tough
story.
cookie to crack, man. It took me months to get hold of Eddie.
Yeah.
Well, he must be a busy man.
He is very busy.
Yeah,
very
I'm always running around.
Hold that thought. We'll be right back. Don't touch that mouse. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more real estate rant.
Real Estate Rant and AGR Realtors are proud supporters of Michael Aguilar and Associates, advocates for stroke awareness and integrative healthcare.
In February 2012, I suffered a stroke due to high blood pressure. I was rushed to the hospital where I was admitted for the next 30 days. I was initially told I may have to stay in the hospital for about 3 months, but I made rapid improvements in my recuperation and continued to improve to this day.
When Michael left the hospital, he did not have insurance to cover his rehabilitation, so he focused on integrative healthcare to get better. At the end of 2013, seeing a need for stroke awareness, Michael started his own company, Michael Aguilar and Associates, to focus on creating awareness about the dangers of high blood pressure and stroke.
If you would like more information, please call me at 562-464-7297, or you can visit my website at www.strokeawareness101.com.
Michael Aguilar and Associates, creating awareness and saving lives one person at a time.
Do we have your attention? When it comes to tequila, two things matter: heart and passion. Never compromising integrity for mass production. Number one Tequila delivers the goods. Taste the heart and passion of Mexico in every bottle. We make it right. We make it fun. Superior Tequila. There's only number one. There's only number one. There's only number one.
Been in an accident? Then you need your vehicle professionally repaired. That's exactly what you get when you bring your vehicle to Greg's Auto Body Repair. Free quotes within minutes. We will provide everything you need for a hassle-free auto body repair, from an accurate estimate to working with your insurance company. We will get your vehicle to its pre-accident condition as soon as possible. Greg's Auto Body has been serving Los Angeles County and local cities since 1970. Call us at 562-789-1300.
A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home, at AJR & Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AJR & Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-882-1976. Or you can log on to www.agrrealtors.com.
With a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos español. Live from the Rant Radio Network,
You're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis.
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. Or should I say me? Well, welcome back to the Real Estate Rant. Here at the Towers of the Rant Radio Network, I'm your host, Mr. Alex Alanis. Simply to my left here, my broker, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez. Look at that. Oh, see, there we go. I'm waiting for that sound effect to come up. Again, we'll throw out a shout out to Mucho Macho Michelada, one of our sponsors here at the network, as well as Monster Marketing with Arvin, Mike, and Phil. They are gracious enough to have us. Yeah, exactly. Gracious enough to have us allow us to do the show here, the Real Estate Rant, and give real estate a forum. Yeah, exactly. A forum to do what we do and what we talk about. Eddie started to give us a little synapse of his beginnings in politics, and I guess we can call it that, right, Eddie?
Right.
Our esteemed guest here on the show today. Give us a call, 855-693-4897, or you can email us at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. And just a quick plug for Mr. Eddie, if we can, Mr. Pantalones. You can reach Eddie at 323-728-7222, and we can put his information up on the screen there. So it will be burned into YouTube and eternity for the rest of eternity. That's his business card. If you care to watch the show again, it will always be available on YouTube. You just have to remember the date, and that'll be up there. Mr. Tafoya is visiting us today from the Commerce Industrial Council, which is the Chamber of Commerce in the City of Commerce. You can also reach him at eddie@industrialcouncil.org. They also have a website, www.industrialcouncil.org as well. So, Mr. Eddie, again, sorry to interrupt on the last one. We came up on the break. I apologize.
No problem.
You started to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in doing what you do now.
Sure. The chamber kind of fell into my lap. I was working for a United States Congresswoman, represents the City of Commerce. Got invited to a State of the City address, and at that event, there was an announcement that the director that led the chamber was going to retire. So wished her well. She said, "Hey, I gotta talk to you." Gave me a call later that week. She says we should have some coffee. Came out to meet her at the Citadel Outlets, and she just kind of laid it on me. She said, I think you would be great at this job. And I said, Chamber of Commerce. I go to them. I've been to some of their events. I regularly attend their government affairs meeting. But what is a chamber? What is all that about? And
Must have been a good cup of coffee, huh?
yeah, it was. And I'm a coffee bean fan, so
Oh,
a
there you go.
little shameless plug there. You just got a new one in Commerce, but we had 4 Starbucks at the time, and she chose the one at the Citadel. Asked me, if I was interested. I said, let me think about it. At the time, working for a congresswoman, you put in a lot of time during the week. You attend a lot of events, a lot of meetings. You represent the congresswoman, accept awards, give speeches. And I thought, with a new addition to the family, I thought, let me kind of slow down a little bit and enjoy my children. So opportunity worked out. I came on board, had no formal training, but I just did it my way. And it's been a great success. We're going here on almost 8.5 years, being at the helm of the chamber. So it's been fun.
So let me ask Eddie real quick, just for purposes of the viewers and the listeners.
Sure.
The question is now posed: what is a chamber?
Okay. It basically breaks down to these simple things. So chamber means a group, and then commerce means business. So it basically breaks down to groups of businesses. So Chamber of Commerce is usually the entity that represents all businesses within a community, within a city, In some areas, you may see them called as the Greater Regional Chamber of Commerce of so and so city or region. So most cities have them within their city limit boundaries. We're not bound by the city limits. You can represent businesses in other states, but it makes sense that if in the region that you're in, the region that you're doing business in, or even the city that you're doing business in, that you belong to that chamber. But you'd be surprised. Our members come from almost 45 different cities.
What are some benefits, Eddie, of joining a chamber?
Okay, so I get asked that a lot. For us, it's value. How do we provide value in belonging to a chamber of commerce? So, I'm going to speak on behalf of our chamber. Our chamber breaks down to three simple things: the promotional benefit, the marketing benefit, and the office clerical benefit. So if you were to go into a little more detail, obviously the promotion, you get listed on our website. We have our official chamber magazine. We have a mobile app. We're the only ones in the area that have an actual mobile app. We also have the referrals that we do. We take a bunch of calls on a daily basis for everything from, your local mom and pop flower shop to how do you get your foot in the door with large corporations like Unified Grocers, the Citadel outlets. Everybody wants to meet these individuals. So that would be one of the benefits. If you come to our chamber, we do all the fun things everybody else does, which is the networking, the mixers, the grand openings, all those fun things. But where we really thrive is balancing that out with the advocacy part of it, the component of advocacy. We are the liaison to City Hall on all business matters before City Hall. But we don't stop there. We take it to the county level, we take it to the state level, and we take it to the federal level.
What does that mean, like on a layman term? You say that you are the liaison between government officials. Is that like any permits a business will require you would help out with that, or
Yes.
so
Yeah.
that's more of the sense that you guys would get involved in.
Right.
See, I'm a small business owner. I don't know where to go about, so I would go join my chamber, and then you guys would have the tools to help me flourish my business or direct me the right way. Should I say? Is that what something I can expect from a chamber?
You hit the nail on the head. You can run around, walk into a counter, and then be given a big, thick layer of paperwork, and you're going to say, where do I start? I start with just putting my name down and trying to describe what it is that I do. If you don't do that correctly, you're going to spend a lot of money and do it backwards. You can come to the chamber, and if the chamber is well integrated with City Hall, you should have no problems navigating the process. Once you submit the paper, there's you're dealing with governments. You're dealing with a ton of red tape. They're going to get to it when they're going to get to it. But when you join our chamber, specifically our chamber, we flourish at that. You come in, you say, hey, you know what? I need a variance. I need a CUP, which is a conditional use permit. Even going through that process doesn't really guarantee that you're going to get the permit that you need. But what it'll do, through our process is we can set up a face-to-face meeting with our mayor, with our city council. We can set up a meeting with a department head, so you're not dealing with a staff person that's just going to take your paperwork and good luck.
Forget about it, huh?
Good luck when you're going to get that permit.
We ends up in a stack, huh?
Yeah, you'll end up at the bottom of the stack. What we've done is we've built the relationships over the year. We've cultivated them, and all we've asked of our council members is just to sit down and listen, just like we're doing right now, talking to each other across the table.
Right on. And I think this is important information because there's that question is still out there. What does the chamber do? What do you do with the chamber?
Right.
Why is there membership? All that good stuff. What about because Chamber of Commerce really exist in most cities that I know of, around here anyway. I've been to most of the different ones. Would you say that they're the same, or do they have different things going on?
Yeah, for the most part, if you were to break it down in percentages, about 75% of our chambers do the same. I always like to say, if you've seen one chamber, you've seen one chamber. It's pretty standard across the industry. From here to the East Coast, a lot of us do pretty much the same thing. We do all the fun things, but it's the advocacy that sets us apart. How effective can we be? Then you also have chambers of commerce that actually take money from City Hall. They take money from the county, and they do it in exchange for hosting the annual holiday parade, the car show, or what may have you. Something that the city doesn't want to take on, they pass it on by way of a contract. So we're independent. We're a membership-driven organization. We don't take any money from City Hall. That gives us a good voice for business, and we're not beholden to city government.
There's something that came up during the interview, Eddie, that we talked about in terms of what is your view of what is the business prerogative?
Sure. So in terms of businesses that want to join, you mean in terms of promo, marketing?
Well, I'm not sure. You brought up that word, and I thought it was interesting because most business prerogative, I would think, is profit.
Sure.
But I think on underlying that is it's exposure, and I think
Right.
that's where me personally now joining some of your events myself I was informed. I actually went to the one event where you did something about how you do your advertising, the colors that you use, some of the
Right.
the logos and stuff like that
Sure.
that are being used. I thought that was really good information, and that most would probably have to pay an advisor to go learn that stuff for their business on a personal level, but you're also rubbing elbows at the same time.
Right, right. No, that's the environment we aim to provide. And when a chamber joins, unless you are a huge corporation, like a brand that a hotel brand or a large company like Smart and Final or the 99, you have teams that build this branding, the campaigns. If you're a small business, you're an entrepreneur, you're a solo guy working as an agent, an insurance broker, and, whatever may have you.
It's all you.
Yeah,
Nobody
it's all
else.
you. It's basically like me. I wear 12 hats at my chamber of commerce. I besides running as a CEO, I also do the membership. I mean, there's a variety of hats that I wear. So we put these tools, these resources that we think are going to be beneficial, that are going to develop people professionally, but more importantly, educate them. So those are the things that we concentrate on: is how do we provide the marketing tools to be able to better yourself so that you can take it and try to implement it. Now, we always say, look, if you need to go a step further, hire a consultant. They're out there. It's going to cost you some money. You're going to have to save your nickels and dimes, but you should take advantage of that. But so we try to give you the small snippet so that you can then take those tools, try to apply them, and then have a foundation of how to grow that branding and that marketing.
Do you find that the people that join the chamber, do they use the benefits that are out there? I mean, you mentioned promo, clerical, and marketing benefits. What does that entail exactly? When you say promo, let's start with that.
With the promotional, well, about 12% of our membership is engaged. I use the word engagement as opposed to participation. We need to engage them. We just had a luncheon today on building a brand. I led the presentation. We didn't have a humongous turnout. It's our first one of the year, but the people that walked away, they got a good understanding of how to put together an action plan and outline to begin that process of the campaign. So when it comes to those type of things, we tried to get them to engage themselves, take advantage, but it's a two-way street. We can send out the reminders, we can send out the flyers, we can give it to you in hand when we visit you, but it's entirely up to you to take advantage of it. So
It's like that saying that says you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink it, huh?
Yeah.
Hold that thought. We'll be right back. Don't touch that mouse. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more real estate brand.
It's one thing to own a business, it's another to promote it. That's why thousands of business owners rely on Monster Marketing Group. Design, print, mail, custom mailers, all for as little as 29 cents delivered. That includes postage. Send to a neighborhood, zip code, or an entire city. With just a simple call, 888-49-MONSTER, you can easily promote your business, sales, events, grand openings, send coupons, and much more.
Your mail delivers in as little as 5 days. No dealing with the mailing list or paperwork. Monster Marketing does all the heavy lifting. Get started now by calling 888-49-MONSTER or go to monsterng.com.
Monster Marketing Group. We deliver, we give you results, we can prove it.
This is Jack Off Hour. You know what it is, your boy Jamario, comedian, actor extraordinaire, dope dealer, everything. You see me on BT, see me on HBO, Showtime. Now, you really haven't seen me, but you can hear me on Rant Radio Network every Tuesday, 6 to 7. We got comedy talk, special guest comedian. We got comedy skits. We also got confession boards. You can get stuff off your chest. Call us up anytime, 855-969-RANT. Jack Off Hour.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
It's hot out here. I need a drink. Have a mucho macho michelada.
What's a michelada?
Michelada is a Mexican Bloody Mary made with beer. All you have to do is get bucket-sized michelada, open it up, pour it in your favorite beer, and you're good.
What if you don't like beer?
You can use it in lemon lime soda, vodka with lime, or tequila with lemon lime soda.
Sounds delicious. Where do you find it?
You can find it at your favorite store, or you can go to muchomachomichelada.com.
Find us on Twitter and Facebook.
Live from the Rant Radio Network,
You're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis.
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. And we are back here at the Real Estate Rant, here at the towers of the Rant Radio Network. Alex, Alonso, and Eddie here talking about the Chamber of Commerce, and we will make the connection to real estate, even though business is a big part of real estate in any city, and this is why we thought about bringing Eddie on the show. Mr. Tafoya, you can reach him at 323-728-7222, and we will have his information up during the show here on the website banner. Burned into Eternity, you can log on to YouTube and watch that anytime. It should be up tomorrow, I think. Give us a call, 855-693-4897. You can win a $25 gift card to Stevens Steakhouse located in the City of Commerce. Looks like we might be going to Stevens after the show.
There you go.
I don't know. Some prime rib sounds pretty good right about now.
That's right.
Oh, man.
There's Eddie's information right there. You can reach him anytime. He is available. Community servant. I mean, can I say that, Eddie? Is that okay?
Yes.
Community servant. I'll be honest with you. More and more, I looked at the website, speaking with Mr. Tafoya, as well as joining some of the seminars and benefits and ribbon cuttings and some of the other stuff over the years. I can honestly say that with a certain level of confidence, with no disrespect, of course, Eddie. I mean no disrespect, but I think it's an honorable label to say community servant, right? And this is why I started the show this way about saying Mr. President, right? Because I don't know. I think that's where Eddie's headed. Because you come across as very respectful individual. You're a family man. I don't see any shenanigans going on. So you got my vote, man.
Yeah. No, we all like to have fun.
Now, Stoner Thoughts.
All right. I knew it was coming.
So enough kissing up there.
Vote for Pedro, or no, vote for Eddie. We'll have those shirts
Let's
on.
throw up
There
the
we go.
design deal just for shits and giggles there, right?
Squirt me in the face, Daddy. Squirt me in the face, Daddy. Squirt me in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Pantalones, if you will, let's throw up the design deal. You can win a $25 gift card here to Stevens Steakhouse. If you happen to call in, 855-693-4897, you get this particular house. What kind of house is this? Multiple choice. You can also cheat on Wikipedia, as you can see on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Compliments of Wikipedia and the free encyclopedia. That's where I get the information. So why not? Why not you too?
Squirt me in the face, Daddy.
Oh, man, you're killing me with that. So anyway, we were talking during the break. Shut up! Yeah, exactly. We were talking during the break about how important it is now as a business owner. You know, if you're starting up a new business, your budget is low. Most people in the first year are expecting not to make a profit in a new business. Why not join the chamber? You're going to rub elbows with all of the individuals that have been there for years. Some new folks coming in.
Absolutely.
But you were mentioning the importance now of having this entity, if you will, in a community.
Right. And for most individuals that join chambers of commerce, it typically costs you less than $1 a day to be a member of the chamber. That's 1/4 the cost of your latte at your local coffee store. So if
There's
you're
that
willing,
coffee cup again, you know.
yeah. I don't want to throw out names out there, but you know who I favor. But that's what it costs. And I can break down what my cost per day for my membership is, whether you're in town or out of town. I can break that down to you, but that really doesn't define much. It's the value you provide, and so you'll hear us use a lot of those words, like what is the true value of belonging to our chamber. I've had people to join my chamber because of these issues that come with moving into a commercial building, where they've moved in, they're paying rent or their lease on a 10-year lease, and it's months before they can move in, all because they get caught up on the red tape, at City Hall. And we've been very effective. We have far reaches from my background working for a congresswoman. I still have my federal contacts. If we need to call, the United States Customs and Border Protection, we have contacts there, or I do. We can contact our local congresswoman.
The coyotes?
Yeah, the coyotes. That's actually ICE, Immigration and Customs. Customs Enforcement.
That means that we're running a sweatshop. We're gonna call Eddie and say, "Don't call them. Make sure they don't come."
Yes, yeah, red flag them.
Let us get out. Let us get them out before they come.
Oh man.
There's a halo over me now.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but those are things that they're extension, they're benefits that people don't know. Most people don't even know how to use a local Congress member. They're good for the United States Postal Service, Social Security benefits, veteran benefits. If you've been in the military or you're dealing with some of those things, most people don't realize you can use that. So it's really good.
So now that kind of brings to light. Now you guys work with public officials as well.
Yes.
Because it's not just business. How so do you work with public officials?
Well, we want to engage them, so we want them to come to our events. That's very important. It's good to know your city council members. It's good to know your planning commissioners, because at some point you're going to need their advocacy. You need their support on businesses, big projects that are coming into your city. Then you got to move on to your county rep. It's good to have a good relationship with them. Your state representatives at the state assembly and Senate level. And then you also want to reach out to your local governor's office, your U.S. Senate representatives, and then your member of Congress. You want to reach out to these guys. And most people think, well, they're never going to show up. They're rarely going to make these appearances. You'd be surprised. I had my local congressman, my former boss, Lucille Roy Ballard. She came to my networking breakfast. She stuck around the whole hour and a half. I was blown away by that. I was once on the other end where I would accompany her to these things, and we called them short visits, drop-bys, unless they were formal dinners. But you'd be lucky if you get 15, 20 minutes. She stayed an hour and a half at the last event. I was really blown away. I was waiting for her to leave. I actually wanted her to leave. I'm just kidding. I didn't want her to leave. But it was really cool.
She found it interesting.
She found it interesting. You know what was more important? She had time to actually sit around a table and listen to business problems. That was really cool. So I really appreciated it for doing that. But getting them engaged is a big deal, because you never know when you're going to need to reach out to that office to get across to something.
Yeah, and I think it's important for business owners as a whole to be able to sit down and speak with a dignitary, a public official,
Sure.
somebody in the city, because they need to hear what the problems are that are going on in business.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times, the internet, our attorneys, other resources that we have aren't enough. We need to be able to talk to those individuals and let them know what's going on in the background, because in their position, they're almost creating policy.
Absolutely.
And I think if they know the trials and tribulations of most business owners, they're able to effectively legislate.
Absolutely.
And that's actually correct. I mean, you're actually getting it from other business owners that already probably did the mistake, and it's going to save you. A new member opening a new business is going to save you a lot of headaches and trouble from previous mistakes that the previous owner might have done. So I think it's a great way of learning.
It's a valid point. A lot of people think that they're untouchable. You can't reach them. But
so does that mean you're coming to the next one? We'll expect to see you there, Alonso.
Didn't you have me running around with the Bell Garden Chamber of Commerce shirt? Going to business for a while.
We went to Whittier Chamber. We went to Bell Gardens. Went to a few of the commerce events. I actually had a couple of the agents from AJR and Associates. We went to was it is it the DoubleTree or
DoubleTree? Yes,
right there right there by the Citadel.
DoubleTree.
We went to the breakfast, and we did that whole seminar that you did. I thought was great. It actually helped a couple of the individuals from AJR and Associates, and that's all great information. Not to mention the food was good.
Yeah,
you can't pass that up.
They put on a heck of a buffet, but it's that one was on color branding and what your colors mean. And we're going to bring that back for our luncheon series, so keep an eye out.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. So let me ask this question. Now, applying now to the chamber, is there any restrictions or anything that Because I know with some organizations, they only allow a certain amount of, and as a real estate agent, they only allow 1 or 2 agents into those organizations. Do you guys have any limitations like that?
No, we don't. We don't. Our membership is open to all businesses, all entities, so long as you're practicing business in good faith. In some cases, we do require a business license, and a lot of that is stressed on businesses that are within our city limits. We want to make sure that we're promoting you. You're within our city, and if we find out that you don't have a business license, the city really comes down on that, and they say, well, that's a company that's really operating in not in good faith. So that could lead to a lot of issues if they don't know that you're there. So business license is a big deal. But no, we open it up to all. Our membership is a little different. If you have let's just say, for instance, a bank in our town, Wells Fargo joins, it's not just the one person from Wells Fargo, it's everybody in the bank. So everybody under that umbrella of that branch is a member. Now, if you have a Wells Fargo that's 2 cities over, like let's just say Whittier, they would not be a member of the chamber. They're part of the same brand, but they're not a member of our chamber. We don't represent that branch. We represent the branch of commerce.
Does that include a nonprofit? Say a nonprofit joins, and you got members from different business entities within that one organization.
Yes.
Do they all become a member if that actual how can I say, a nonprofit joins the chamber?
Yes, we do have nonprofit rates. That's probably our lowest rate that we have. Nonprofits are a part of our chamber, so we have from the YMCA to the local Boys and Girls Club to Reading is Fundamental. We have a whole slew of great nonprofits that are part of our chamber. But yeah, we have the Commerce Casino is a good example. There are over 3,000 employees. Every one of those individuals is a member of our chamber.
Now, just sitting here listening to you, Eddie, I'm kind of visualizing something, and I realize something. This is not just you. When you talk about the chamber, you're talking about you have a team of people that work with you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, how is it that these individuals work with you? Are they working for free? I mean, is this something that
they are? They work for peanuts. No,
the salted ones or the roasted ones?
Yeah, of natural flavor. You're referring to my ambassadors. So every chamber typically has an ambassadors group, program, committee, whatever it may have that you want to name it. But they're basically our volunteer arm of the chamber. They do all the greeting, the welcome, the phone calls, the visits. They are the ones that if they see you standing around, you're new at this event, they will come over and say, hey, I think you need to come over here and meet these folks. Say, hey, I think I've learned what your service and product is. I think you need to connect with this individual. So they're almost like a power partner.
It's your turn to buy.
Yeah, it's your turn to buy. I was like, hey, do you mind buying me a drink?
Yeah, there you go.
But I am pretty blessed to have an amazing group of ambassadors, and I had a good mentor in my boss, the local congresswoman, where she wanted to always develop me professionally, so that when I left that office, I was a better individual in my trade. And so I've taken the same philosophy. I do it with my ambassadors, and we train them and develop them.
We'll be right back. Don't touch that mouse. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more Real Estate Rant.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra-modern, ultra-clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today, or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
ProTech Carpet Tile and Care provides professional cleaning services for carpet, tile, grout, upholstery, and fine area rugs.
ProTech technicians are professionally trained and certified cleaning and restoration experts.
We specialize in restoring damage caused by heavy soil and odor.
We can remove challenging spots such as coffee, tea, ink, gum, wine, and many more.
We have saved our customers thousands of dollars on new flooring and furniture expenses with our advanced cleaning processes.
Call for a free estimate at 562-447-4300 and visit us on our website, www.myprotectsite.com.
Hey, this is Joe Perez, owner at Protect. Just reminding you that Protect Carpet and Tile Care is your professional choice.
Hey, what's up, homie? What's happening?
What's up, bro?
Hey, man, are you into sports?
Oh, yeah, bro. Angels, Dodgers, Ducks all day.
Oh, yeah, you gotta listen to the Mo's Bro Sports, man. They cover LA sports.
Where can I listen, bro?
Oh, you gotta check them out on iRant Radio. That's irantradio.com or Mo's Bro Sports on Facebook. You gotta check them out, Holmes.
Okay, bro, I'll check them out.
All right, I'll check you later, homie.
All right, man. See you later, bro.
Looking for some swag? Make sure to check out monsterclothing.com. They got everything from V-necks, t-shirts, hoodies, baby dolls. And remember, custom orders are always welcome and much more. They're just not on the site yet. www.monsterclothingco.com or call them at 888-49-MONSTER. 888-49-MONSTER. Hablamos español. Doo-doo-doo!
Live from the Rant Radio Network,
You're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis,
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. Welcome back to the Real Estate Rant. I'm your host, Mr. Alex Alanis, and to my left here, my broker, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez. And we are covering Chamber of Commerce today with Mr. Eddie Tafoya. He is with the Commerce Industrial Council here locally with the City of Commerce. And that could be tongue twisting a little bit, mainly because it's so much commerce in there.
Yes.
City of Commerce, interesting area, actually, because there's not too much residential in the area. But Eddie was sharing with us about how the chamber works and how it operates. Real quick, because we are running short on time, Mr. Pantalones, if you will, if you can throw up the answer to the design deal. Nobody won that $25 gift card, so it looks like we'll be eating some prime ribs here after the show. There's a layout of that house. Believe it or not, it is 2 rooms. It's a Holland parlor. And I included the layout there to show the folks about that 2-story one that was up earlier. That's pretty much all it is. It's just something to maybe load the rifle and go back out to do some hunting.
I would have guessed kit house.
See, I don't even know what a kit house is, to be honest with you. It's just something that I pulled up off of Wikipedia, but that is a Holland parlor. So anyway, thank you for joining us on that part, folks, for calling in. But anyway, if you happen to have a beef or you have a question for myself, Alonso, or Eddie, you can give us a call at 855-693-4897. Real quick, Eddie, what is ICPAC?
That stands for the Industrial Council Political Action Committee. It is an entire separate arm of what we do. So we talked about earlier about engaging your politicians. At some point, they come back to you and they're seeking that label of endorsement by business. Business plays a large role in what we do.
They want that vote, especially if you're a big company like the Commerce Casino with over 2,000 employees.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But think about it. The daytime workforce in our city goes up to 80,000. At night, it goes down to like the residential, which is about 13,500. And then you couple that with the people who work that night shift. So you're somewhere around, the 20,000 range of individuals that are there after 5 o'clock, working late into the early hours of the morning. So we several years back, about 8 years ago, the chamber formed a PAC, and the PAC has its own bylaws, its own trustees, its own members, its own bank account. And so what the PAC does is the PAC literally raises money to endorse pro-business candidates. So we've been very fortunate that in our city, our PAC has pretty much won every election since it's been formed. We've endorsed every candidate on the city council that is there now has been endorsed and actually supported, and they have made it onto the city council. Our very first attempt at this was an incumbent who had just retired from the city, had worked there for 40 years, ran as a first-timer, was up against the mayor. We actually unseated the mayor at the time, and he came out to be the top vote getter. He had the most votes across the city. And in our city, there's only 5,500 registered voters. Half of that, if you're lucky, vote. And but about on non-general election, you'll probably get, when the presidential elections are not aligned, you'll probably get about 600 to 700 votes. When you do align it with the presidential election, you might hover around the 12 to 1400 votes to get you into office.
Wow.
So that's what our PAC does. Very influential. We flex our power. But again, I like to stress they're two separate things. So when you pay into our chamber, you're paying into the actual value we're providing there. You want to get politically involved. You want to support pro-business candidates. We ask for contributions through the PAC.
Now, just to get it out of the way, because we are on the last segment of the show, Mr. Pantalones, if you can throw up the, I think it's called is it One Job? Or what was
the Just One Club?
Oh, Just One Club. I'm sorry.
Right.
Let's throw up the icon for the Just One Club, Mr. Pantalones, if you will. What is this here, Eddie?
So the Just One Club is a concept that I came up with. It's a new initiative program, recognition program. So what our aim is how do you drive up, how do you get our existing members to get excited about growing our membership? We all want to see it grow. That's the biggest thing across the industry and in the chamber world is how do you grow your membership? Our biggest thing is retention, but how do you grow the member? How do you get new members to join? Those that are on the fence, those that are standing on the sidelines, just kind of looking and see, is it my time to join the chamber? The Just One Club will recognize our existing members that will bring in one new member in 1 year. That's all we're asking you at a minimum. You can bring in 10. You can refer 10 to me, but if you could just give me the one.
You're talking about the members that you have now.
Right.
Bringing in one person.
Right. So if I say, Alex, you're a member of my chamber. You've been here for a while. Or it's your first year. Who is your one? So our tagline. That's our tagline. Who's your one?
Well, Alonso started one. I think it was called the Mile High Club. Is that
The Mile High Club?
There you go.
Different kind of club, I think. Yeah.
That's 1 mile high, huh?
Yeah, but that's interesting. Now you're having an event coming up that you mentioned. What's that about?
We're having our first annual signature event of the year, and it's our annual installation gala, and that is our first event of the year. So it's our big event of the year. We have a variety of them throughout the year. Luncheons, women in business. We have the golf tournament, all those big events to bring in 300 plus individuals. Our installation gala is our actual installation where we install our officers, our president.
Is that what this one is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's our gala, and our theme has a Godfather theme to it, and our tagline is "It's not personal, it's just business." So if you look at our graphics, if they're up on the screen,
business and friendship muddies the waters.
This is our curtain board president. His name is John Reno with the Hager Industrial, and this is our Godfather theme. So it's not personal; it's just business.
Right on.
So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna turn the inside of Stevens Steakhouse's banquet rooms into a real nice Godfather theme. So
I see, and I'm seeing the
these are the dates.
Well, I'm seeing the dates. There's February 26th on a Thursday. It's at 5:30 p.m. at Stevens Steakhouse, which we here at the Rant Radio Network and Real Estate Rant we highly support. Don has always been a supporter of the show.
Yeah,
and we're happy to mention that for Eddie, and come join us. We'll probably be there Thursday, February 26th at 5:30.
Yes. If you want to meet the who's who of commerce, this is the place to go to. This event, it has all the big wigs come out for this.
Right on. And like they say, business and friendship muddies the waters. So anyway, now going back a little bit, you mentioned CUP, community use permits. I'm sorry,
It's
did
a
I get that right?
conditional use permit.
Conditional use permit. I'm sorry. Now, conditional use permit is what exactly?
So a conditional use permit is a process that opens up whatever it is that you're trying to put into use. So for instance, if you're moving into a building, and I think I used an example earlier, if you're a company that flavors nuts, almonds, whatever may have you, and you're moving into a specific building that maybe is not zoned for that, you would have to go through a process called the conditional use permit. So what it is, it's a permit that has conditions that are stipulated by the city. So in this instance, with the peanut company, they were told, well, first of all, you can't move in there because the land use component doesn't allow it to move there. You can't have that use because of the city's designation for that area. And so the city, for some reason, had it in their head that this company was selling peanuts over the counter. And that's not exactly what they're doing. These guys import peanuts from all over the world, and what they do is they flavor them.
Now, and if I could just interject there real quick, just speaking as a layman, and I think supporting all the listeners, why does the city do that? I mean, is this a health and safety thing?
It really is. It's more of an environmental. They want to see what the impacts are. Does it open it up to an environmental review, an environmental impact report? Does it open it up to a statewide CEQA? You know, what if you start digging and you add a portion or you tear down a portion of a building, and then you all of a sudden you find that the floor is contaminated with high levels of lead or POVs? I forget what they stand for, but
well, there
volatile.
asbestos. There's
organic compounds, VOCs. So you never know. You know, I talked about earlier about the company that found the lead. You know, if you're not going in there and you're covered up, you're gonna suffer the consequences of being exposed to high levels of lead.
Yeah, because you're gonna get your individuals that go in there and say, oh, you know, the city's just out there to look out for themselves and that kind of thing, and they're just trying to make money. But there's a real reason why they're strict on their rules and why there's the zoning requirements and that kind of thing. And that's kind of what I wanted to bring to light.
Sure.
So in other words, on a conditional use permit, how does the chamber now get involved?
So the chamber gets involved. So we'll have companies that will come in and say, look, I'm not getting anywhere. I can't even submit my paperwork for a conditional use permit because the city won't grant me a variance. Now the variance allows you a lot of wiggle room at the discretion of the department director or the planning commission. So what you would do is essentially you have to start from scratch, and that means sitting across the table with the planner, with the people who do the environmental review, and just saying, look, this is what we want to do. This is you tell us what we can do here. But this CUP opens it up to public scrutiny, and that's where you need to be very aware. Is if you do go through this process, there's no guarantee whatsoever after a 6-9 month process, and all this money that you spend for applying for the permit, hiring consultants. There's no guarantee that you're going to get the favorable outcome and CUP approval that you want. So it's you have to be very careful. This is where the chamber thrives. We've had a very high percentage of being able to be successful. If you go back and you ask some of the businesses in town that have gone through the CUP through our involvement, we probably are close to 100% approval.
Wow.
And that's because we have the relationship. But it goes beyond that. You know, you're holding the hand of the company, the people who are in charge of going through this process, so that they don't go there and they just say, look, I'm going to demand this. And that's the wrong approach.
And that's only for the business located in Commerce. Say if you're having a business having an issue in another city, your chamber wouldn't help you with that issue, would it?
We would. We obviously we're going to thrive in our backyard because we have the relationships there. My background has extended me to be able to reach out to other cities. I know individuals on the city councils from 188 cities. 6 counties. You know, I used to work for an organization that represented that. So as long as those people are still on the city council, I can pick up the phone and call them. I can call somebody in Cathedral City and say, hey, Mr. Councilman, I have a business that's based in your town. You know, they're a member of my chamber. We'd like to be supportive. And they'll say, okay, we'll come and sit down and we'll talk about the issues. And that's all you're really asking them.
Okay, Mr. Eddie. Well, thank you for joining us. We are coming up on the end of the show. And thank you again for helping us out and sharing that information. We do have a sign that's
I might be that neighbor.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't even know where this is, but it looks like it might be in a newer area, like maybe Rancho Cucamonga or something like that. But this is the kind of thing that people put up as for sale by owners. And I'll be honest with you, this is not legitimate, nor is it effective advertising to sell your property. Because if your neighbor is an asshole, I really doubt that anybody's going to buy your house. Give us a call at AGR and Associates, and we can help you with that. Again, thank you for joining us here on the show, and thank you again, Mr. Alonso, for being my trusty co-host.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank Betty for coming and
appreciate it.
Coming up at 5 o'clock today, we got 3 Guys Rant here at the Rant Radio Network. We will be here at the same time and same place, 3:30 in the afternoon on Wednesday. So join us for the next show. We should have another esteemed guest on.
En el mismo canal y en el mismo lugar.
XRA,
Tijuana, Mexico.
Thanks for tuning in to Real Estate Rant Radio.
Make sure to join us every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
on the Rant Radio Network, where we talk about solutions to your real estate problems.
The
views and opinions expressed by the host or any guest on this show are encouraged to be followed up by a professional tax advisor or attorney, as we are not qualified or authorized to give advice in two areas: legal matters and tax matters.
Did you ever want to have your own radio show?
No.